The delayed September jobs report is now out. The U.S. economy added 119,000 jobs during the month. That was a lot more than expected. The unemployment rate came in at 4.4%. NBC News business and data correspondent Brian Cheung joins us from the big board to talk more about these numbers. Brian, so this is the first jobs report. Reason it was delayed because of that government shutdown. Since it ended, the last one we got was for August numbers, and that was, of course, back in early September like normal. Walk us through what these figures, again, from September, a little delayed, show us and how they stack up to previous months. Yeah,
a massive caveat here is that the jobs numbers that we're looking at are telling us what the economy looked like in September. Right. So we're very delayed on this. In fact, I've been waiting 7 weeks for this particular report thanks to the government shutdown. Again, this report was supposed to come out on October 3rd. It is almost Thanksgiving already. But what this jobs report did tell us, at least about the month of September, was that job gains were pretty solid. So when we talk about the, again, pace of job gains per month, how many payrolls were added in a given month, we had really been slowing down since the beginning of this year. Take a look at the average in terms of, almost sub 150,000. Whereas we were really blowing through those numbers towards the end of last year. 50,000 was Wall Street's estimate for this particular report. 119,000 is what we got. So that is well above estimates, more than double what we thought would have been gained in the month of September, again, before the government shut down. One important thing I do want to note is that the unemployment rate at 4.4%, yes, that is basically unchanged from where it was at the beginning of this year. But nonetheless, you can see the trend since the early part of 2023. This unemployment rate has been going up. We're also paying attention specifically to younger workers as well as black workers. That could be trending up as well. But again, it seems like at least as of over a shorter period of time, at least it's not going up a little bit higher and accelerating. But that's the trend we're certainly continuing to watch here, Savannah.
Brian, break it down for us by industry.
Yeah, so when we take a look at the industries, it's very interesting to take a look at where we saw most of the job gains. Again, we were not expecting over 100,000 jobs to be added in this month. A lot of that was driven by jobs at bars and restaurants. Leisure and hospitality accounting for 47,000 of the job gains in this month. Manufacturing, interestingly, did have some interesting changes as well. I actually want to point out, though, information was arguably a more interesting space. A lot of people have been watching the tech job space because of AI, automation. Again, this jobs report preceded a lot of those big announcements from the like of Amazon in terms of those job changes, but it actually went flat. No jobs, at least net, added in the month of September in this kind of bucket, which generally includes some of these tech jobs. And then construction, interestingly, did add 19,000 jobs. I want to point out one other factor that we were also looking at was federal government jobs. Again, prior to the shutdown beginning, we actually saw a contraction of 3,000 jobs in the month of September. Over the year prior, we actually saw a contraction in that space of about 100,000. So a lot of that due to the DOGE cuts, not necessarily because of the government shutdown.
Brian, so let's talk about the other data that we will or won't get. So this one was delayed. The October jobs report would have been the one after this one canceled. The November one delayed. That means this is the last report, like the last snapshot of jobs that we're going to get before the Federal Reserve meets in December. With that in mind, how do you expect the Fed will approach that interest rate decision? Always a question, of course. And how much of a concern is it that we're missing so much data? Yeah,
and Savannah, I'll point out already that the fact that this report being delayed by 7 weeks is already having an impact on what the Federal Reserve is kind of looking in the rearview mirror and thinking, because of the fact that the ADP private sector report, this is a separate entity. They take a look at private payrolls. They were the ones that we were looking at in terms of data while the government was shut down, because that was the only place where we can get a reading on the economy. And they said that in the month of September, there was a contraction of 29,000 jobs. Now that we've gotten this data, we're seeing that the government is saying that it's 119,000 jobs added in that month. Again, that's an issue. But the bigger issue, as you mentioned, Savannah, that October jobs report is canceled and the November jobs report is delayed to December 16th. That is after the Fed's next decision, December 10th. You can see how it's scrambling all the data that they otherwise would have gotten if we were on schedule without a government shutdown.
Absolutely. Brian Cheung, thank you so much.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.